The New South Wales coroner has delivered a damning assessment of 3 suicide deaths at Sydney's Villawood detention centre. An inquest found the Immigration Department and its contractors failed to fulfil their duty of care to the men. The findings detail a lack of adequate screening and protocols and have prompted calls for urgent changes to the detention system.
Lawyers for the detainees' families said the coroner had spelt out how each man had been let down.
The findings of the coroner were really quite comprehensive in terms of identifying systemic failures of all 3 parties at Villawood Detention Centre.
Those 3 parties are the Immigration Department, Serco, the private operator of Villawood, and International Health and Medical Services. None escaped criticism. The detainees were Fijian Josefa Rauluni, Ahmed Al-Akabi, who claimed to have been tortured in Iraq, and British citizen David Saunders. They took their own lives within a 3-month period at Villawood last year. Coroner Mary Jerram said there were startling examples of mismanagement and that some staff were careless, ignorant or both.
The government and Serco and IHMS had better have a good long look at each other and see what their duty of care is to detainees in detention, because there are issues even today.
When Josefa Rauluni threatened to jump off a balcony, he was told he would be coming down one way or another and going to the airport. Serco and department officials failed to coordinate their response, and it wasn't clear who was in charge. Ahmed Al-Akabi had told officials he was depressed but received little assistance. In the case of David Saunders, a prior suicide attempt was known, but he wasn't placed on the appropriate watch.
There needs to be immediate screening and a proper treatment planning for those with mental disorder so that they're not placed and remain in high-risk situations within detention centres.
The coroner has called for a series of changes, including a policy to allow police negotiators to help in high-risk situations.
I want to ensure that our procedures are best practice, and so I'll be paying very serious regard to the coroner's recommendations.
Something Serco and IHMS have also agreed to do. Carl Herr, ABC News, Sydney.